Hey everybody, it's Carol with Refunction Crafts, and today I'm going to bring you what should be a very quick video. And I had to do it. My friend Sherry sent me over to Joann's today. She said she had sent me an order that she placed for me and that I needed to go pick it up. Now Sherry lives several states away from me. She's one of my wonderful subscribers, and she sends me usually different fabrics and things. She sent me some birds and some boxes and all kinds of things. But today she sent me over to Joann's to pick up my package. And in that package, I got some fabric. It's chiffon, and it's a sort of an ombre print chiffon. So I got real excited when I saw it because I've actually been thinking that I'd like to get some ombre fabric and do some different flowers and things. And with this, you can make all different kinds of colors of flowers and stuff. And this is what I made almost as soon as I got it home. And I am in love with this chiffon. I did these rolled roses and I added them to one of these appliques that Debbie sent me. Debbie sent me a whole yard, maybe 2 yards of this lace. So I thought, you know what? I have about 25 minutes here, so we're not going to read a quote today. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm not going to do that today, but I want to try and do this in 25 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot. So we're going to make one of these out of these. So I'm thinking that the main flower is going to be, this has got some peach and pink together. Let's see if I can fold it a little bit so you can see. I don't even know if you guys can see the variation in this. It's very slight, but it's definitely there. It's pinker on this side and peachier on this side. So this is the one that we're going to make the main flower out of. And I have cut out 2 circles, one small one and one large one. I'm going to make 3 flowers, but one of them I'm not going to use the felt on. So what I used is the stiff white felt. I was going to Joann's today to get specifically this felt to make flowers with. And so, what do you know? She sent me stuff to make flowers with. And look at this, you guys. She also ordered me this lace. Is that not gorgeous? Oh, I can't wait to use that. And I got a couple of yards at least of this, probably several yards of this. So, look at the lusciousness of that lace. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started on this. So the first thing that I need to do is get my fabric ready. And the way that I do that, and I know I've made these flowers for you guys before, but I had to do this because this time we're making an actual applique out of this. And I know I've made appliques before in my videos, but never one exactly like this. And you know what? You can't get too many videos where someone's making flowers and appliques. That's the way I see it anyway. I could watch them all day long. So all I'm doing is I'm folding this in half and I'm gluing at the very, very edge of the bottom of the strip. Whoops, and then I'm going to mess it up. And I'm just folding it over and pressing it down. This works very easily and very well. I know a lot of people sew this, and I find that I just am not much of a sewer. I don't like to have to go get my needle and thread because I'm probably too lazy. And so I will glue if I can glue. So just this last little bit of this, and that part's done. So let's go ahead and let's do this other one real quick. and get it ready. Now the second flower that I did on the other one was not this wide, but that's okay because I really wanted to get both colors in this one. And you can see on the first one, it's more of a solid color on the smaller flowers. And the bigger one looks solid, but it is an ombre fabric, and you can up close see the variation in this flower. I don't know that you can see it on the camera, but I can see it with my eye. So, and this one I thought was enough of a variation, you can't miss it. So I wanted to get a little bit more of it, and all I did was take a little slice on one portion of the fabric, and then I tore it the rest of the way and took off all of the little frayed edges. I just pulled them off. I mean, it's still frayed at the edges, but just a little bit, and you're not going to see that once I put this together, so that is not a problem. And let's see if we can get the rest of this in this last little fold. And I'm just putting the littlest amount of glue, you guys. Don't overdo your glue when you do this, because you don't want thick, gloppy glue along this section here. So, okay, so we've got both of those done. So first things first, we're going to take our first circle, and you guys, I'm going to try and go quickly at this, so I'm sorry if it's too fast, but you can watch some of my other videos. I just had to do this video, and since I only had a short time to do it in, I thought, okay, I'm going to do a quick one. So I'm just going to take this end, and I'm going to start just kind of creating a ruffle in it and going around the edge where I've put that glue. And it's that easy, you guys, to just go around the edge of that stiff felt. And then we'll take our glue and put it around the rest of that edge. This one's going to be a bit bigger. I hope it's not too big now that I'm thinking about it, but if it is, we've got a solution for that. So never fear. And I'm just going to go around that whole thing right there. Now, the only thing is this fabric is not super duper long. So I need to kind of maybe bring it in a little bit further as I'm laying it down, because I don't want to run out before I get to the end, because I have to have some fabric to make the bud in the center. And if I don't have enough fabric, I can't do that. I'm not going to have the right space for it. Now, if that happens, not a big deal, because you can always cut another slice of fabric that goes along these colors. And you can see I'm just kind of going along the inside, and I'm still ruffling it, not too terribly much at this point, but I am still ruffling it. And you can see this is actually quite a bit bigger than my other one was. I'm kind of disappointed in myself for doing that. I'm just putting a dab of glue in the center. And we're going to keep ruffling it until I get to a point where I think I'm ready to do my bud, which should be after I do this small section that I'm doing now. Trying not to push in these other layers on top of the glue, because then I'll ruin the flower. Okay, a little bit more before I get to where I'm going to make my bud. So we're just going to go in the very middle there and just create a little bit more of a circle here. And there's a trick to getting that bud right in the middle, and I did not know that trick until I watched a video recently, and I can't believe I didn't figure it out on my own, but I didn't. and the girl made it so easy. Okay, so we're at the center here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this part that's left over, and actually I think I had a piece of this left. No, I didn't. Not when I made my big one on the other one. I used the entire strip. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this end piece here. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the end, and I'm going to start rolling it. I'm going to fold it over first. I'm going to snip off all of those frays right there. I'll try and get some of this glue off my hand. And we're going to, what we're going to start doing is we're going to start rolling it like this. Put a little glue across the bottom there. And I don't want to make my bud too tight. I kind of made one of them, this one kind of really tight on this one, which I didn't intend to do, but it thankfully turned out, it still turned out nice. But I do prefer them a little bit looser than that. So here's what I'm doing, if you can see that. I'm just kind of squishing it a little bit. That darn toothpick keeps sticking to my glue gun. I'm loosely rolling it like that. And then the rest of this, I'm going to put a little bit around here. And I'm going to start turning it to the inside. And this process kind of helps you not to get glue all over these inside petals. I'm going to drop a bit of glue in the bottom there. I'm going to grab a toothpick because that's the best way to be able to push this in there and not get glue all over the place, while holding up this other petal that's around this. I'm going to start pressing this down in the middle and breaking toothpicks. These toothpicks are very cheap, just so you know. I think they're Dollar Tree toothpicks. Pretty sure they are. Okay, so I've got that all pressed in there. And there we go. There's our big flower. And it turned out absolutely amazing. And I have got glue all over my fingers. This glue does not come off like the Gorilla Glue does. This is a cheaper glue. And then I usually take this last little piece, the piece that where I started, and let's take our torch and kind of burn it a little bit first to get the frays kind of melted down. And then I'm going to take just a tiny dot of glue, and I like to fold it over like that, so that we have a clean edge right here. Okay, not going to worry too much about any glue strings right now, because those I can get off with the blow dryer when I'm done, or the heat gun, or whatever. I have a heat gun actually that I use. And they work really great for melting that glue down so that it just kind of shrivels up and goes away. Okay, so there's one down. Now let's get to this one. And we just have a small little circle here for this one. I'm kind of thinking this might be too small now, because I'm going to have to make this a little bit bigger than I made the one on the last flower. So we're going to make a new circle, just a little bit bigger than that one, out of this stiff felt. And I'm not the best circle maker, you guys, sorry. It's not perfect, but it's close enough. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so now we're going to take this, and I have it kind of back here. Let me get this last little string off of it. It won't get off my hand. Okay. All right, and I want to make the green part sort of go to the inside. So I'm just going to take along the edge, put my glue, and start feeding this around. And we definitely won't require this entire strip to do this flower. And you guys, you just don't have to be perfect at this. I'm telling you, I know there are people out there and they do these videos and they do absolute perfect work. But I'm telling you, just because they have what seems to be a perfect process doesn't mean that their flower will come out any prettier than yours. Do your process the way you're comfortable with, because if you try to do someone else's method and you're not comfortable with that method, I'm telling you, everything's going to come out wrong and you're not going to be happy with your results because you weren't comfortable with the way they did it. You may not be comfortable with the way that I do it, but find your comfort zone and what you feel good about, and do this a couple of times. It took me several times to really figure out my process and be able to make a nice flower every time. You know, and these are, once you get your process down, they're so easy to make and so quick. I mean, you're going to see, I'm going to do this video and I intend to get it done in under 30 minutes. So, okay, a little bit more in the center here. A couple of more twists. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to cut this, I think, right about there. And again, whoops, that's not my glue gun. I'm just going to take this and sort of fold it over and roll this a little bit. And I think I'm going to kind of fold it over like that. Probably shouldn't have done that because I have a feeling that's going to turn it the wrong way. But we'll fold it again, and now I've got it all going the right way. And this will actually make my bud a little bit less pokey outy. Is that a word? Pokey outy? I know, you guys, I'm kind of weird. Okay, oops, got my hand in the glue, and I don't want to get my hand in the glue and then touch the inside of this flower, so I'm going to twist and put it down in the middle here. And take my toothpick here, and we're just going to press that in, press it down. And on these smaller ones, I found it was kind of cool to take these other petals that are closest to the bud and just kind of push them in from the bottom, push them in closer to that rosebud, and you get kind of a little bit of a tighter rose. And then I even took the next layer down, because that glue is still a little bit wet, and just kind of pushed it in like that. And then there we go. And then I'm going to take this end. It's not too terribly frayed, so I'm just going to take and put a little bit of glue and fold it over like that, just along the edge of my piece of felt there. Okay. So now we have rose number 2. And all right, so there's our second rose. And there's our first one. Very, very pretty. And these two colors really go nicely together with the peaches and the greens and stuff. And then we're just going to take this little piece and we're just going to make a quick rose out of it. Rolled rose just in our hand. So I'm going to fold that over. And this will be more of a rose bud. Whoops, I lost it. So I'm just going to gently roll it. And I am going to fold it over just like that. Again, find your own process. Do this the way you're comfortable. And I want to get that frayed part out of my way. So I'm actually going to take this and I'm going to fold it this direction and start really making my bud. And actually, I'm really happy I did that because now I can see I'm going to get a darker green on the on different parts of this rose. So that's going to be pretty when it's matched up with the other parts, or the other roses, and yeah, the other roses mostly. But you can see we're just getting basically a little rosebud out of this. And here I'm going to fold it a little bit more and try and get some of the lighter green to start showing up again. So we get that ombre look. And we're almost done with the third flower. And this last little piece here, I'm just going to put a little glue on that, and I'm going to fold it over, just like that. And what we will do, number one, I'm going to take my torch to the bottom of this a little bit and shrink it up, shrink it up, shrink it up. And I'm going to take this little piece of felt and make it a little bit smaller because this one's pretty small. I'm just going to make a little tiny circle out of it. And I'm going to pop that on the bottom of this rose. Well, maybe I made it too small. Oh well, it's okay because it's going to be on top of the other flower, so I'm not even going to worry about that right now. Okay, so we have our 3 roses. Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to take my nippers and we're going to take this flower out of the center of this. Let's put you guys a little bit closer. Okay, and this will sort of come apart. So what I do right away, because I still want to have this flower together, I need some more glue. I'm going to glue that bottom piece down, and then I'm going to glue this pearl back inside, just like that. And there. Now I've got these 2 beautiful little white flowers that I can use for something else. So now I want to make sure this pokes out quite a bit right here. As you can see, like I did this one. So this one, I'll just have it sticking out a little further. And I'm going to lay that right there and pick it up. And never fear, I'm going to use another piece of felt. Now, part of me wants to just put this flower right there. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to cut our other piece of felt out now. And it's going to be sort of a oval piece. That way it will cross all of the flowers so that they'll all be stuck to it. Something like that. Okay, so what we'll be doing is putting that there. Let's see where I want that to be placed. I'm going to put that right there. So we'll just press that down already. Put some glue right here. Press it down right there. And then I want to take and decide where this flower is going to go. Maybe I shouldn't have made it an oval. Maybe I should have made it a round. Well, it's okay. We're going to put it right about like that. And it's already kind of sticking to the glue that's on the other piece of felt there. Because what I did was I pushed it kind of up under the peach flower. Okay, getting glue all over my hands, but you can see that's sort of really sticking out there, and I really didn't want that to happen. But there we go. We've got it all pressed in now, and that looks good. And then I'm going to be cutting some of this off because I didn't need it to be quite that big. So let's just go ahead and do that now before I put this other rose inside there, because I don't want that showing underneath this. You know what the best thing for me to do would be? I wonder if I need to take another one of these and sort of put it to the other side, sort of like that, and then put this rose here. But I like these leaves to just come out on one side, so we're not going to do that. We're just going to go with the original plan. I've still got this too big, so I'm going to cut it down a little bit more. Like that. And now we should be almost good. It's funny, I'm making this one smaller than I did the first one I did. And the first one is a smaller piece. But then again, on the first one, I didn't think to put the hard felt on until the end. And maybe that's what I should have done here. But I didn't want to just glue the flowers together, you know, to each other. I wanted them to be glued down to the felt. There. So now I'm going to just take and put some glue right there. And I think I want that in that direction. I'm just going to pop that little flower in there so that it's sticking out. Just like that. So we have another beautiful, beautiful applique. So now I've made 2 of these today, and I can put them in my Etsy shop. I can use them on projects. These will probably go into my Etsy shop, I'm thinking, because I have plenty of fabric that I can make some more out of. Or I may keep one and sell one. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, I hope you guys liked this video. It was just a short one just to show you some pretty appliques that you can make very quickly. And very, very pretty. And, you know, with a very little bit of fabric and a little bit of imagination, you've got yourself some really, really pretty appliques. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Glad I found the time to do it, and I guess that's it. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful week, and Stay safe, stay well, stay blessed as always. Love your family and love yourself. And God bless you all. I'll see you in the next video. Stay tuned for pictures on the end. Bye-bye.